Many thanks to our next speaker, who is a good friend and colleague, Anthony Mazur, professor and head of research at the University of Geneva Art and Design. His focus on social, political and aesthetic implication of digital technologies, currently mainly on AI and machine learning. I look forward to hearing you. You have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Yaniv. I'm Anthony Mazur, and as I said during the icebreaker, I'm the Dean of Research at Geneva University of Art and Design. As an art school, we have a lot of artists, or future artists, and if we are not able to pay them in the future, we can basically close the school. So I really need you to find solutions and more sustainable ecosystems. But the good news is I have some ideas or as such proposals, maybe policies, we will see. First, do we pay for culture or do we pay for artists? It's not the same thing at all. As Mathieu just said, the music industry is very complicated because of the streaming, and artists earn only a little part of this economy. The physical media are almost nothing, and then we, as Yaniv said, we are facing a new challenge with AI-generated music, and it will maybe be worse for artists. For a broader point of view, in Switzerland, the culture sector represents around 2% of the total Swiss GDP, but around 60% of artists earn less than 40,000 francs in 2019, which is not enough to live. Another element of context is the rise of the Web3. As Mathieu said, it's for the first time in the digital ecosystem a way to produce digital scarcity and to avoid the copy and paste problem. Thanks to blockchain, who appeared in 2009, we are able to do digital scarcity, which can be used for money, such as Bitcoin, or for a lot of other things, such as NFTs. And another element of context is the one of video game. Is by far the fastest growing cultural sector in the world, and it represents since 2021 more than twice the economy of the cinema and music combined, so it's a lot, and maybe we can learn from that. So in short, about the context, we are in the brand new world where we can have digital property, we can also have interoperability, so the capacity to move one asset to another ecosystem. For example, a sword in a game could become a car in another game, and a background in a Zoom conference. And the last main concept is the parametrability, the capacity to produce customized assets. So what can we do with that, and how to take advantage of Web3 and video game ecosystem to create a more sustainable system for artists? So I have 7 proposals for you to discuss. The first one is to build custom copyrights. If we take the traditional art market, an artist will sell a piece of art to a gallery. He will earn around 40 or 50% of the sale. Then the piece of art is sold again to an art collectioner, and the artist will basically earn nothing. Thanks to smart contract and Web3, we can imagine a very simple circular model where automated cashback is given back to the artist thanks to smart contracts. We can propose a kind of declination of a system with automatic splitted revenue. It's the case on the NFT platform Theia.art, where the sales of the piece of art may include donations, parameters by artists, for example, to some social causes or ecological causes, but also in a more interesting way to creative free software used by these artists, such as processing. So every time you buy and you resell a piece of art, a small amount of money will be given to developers, for example, to finance free software. It's the same on the platform SuperArt, where you can have governance and curation tokens, which deeply involve the community. As Mathieu just said, it's useless to have 1 million followers if the people are not involved into your business on your ecosystem. could be also a way to pay for these people, the click workers, who are not well paid or not paid at all to train AI ecosystem. If we think about a decentralized AI ecosystem, which should be able to automate kind of money for that kind of people at each use of AI ecosystem in a more ethical way. The third proposal is about certified crossovers. It's always a big challenge from an economical or legal point of view for an artist to collaborate with companies. And thanks to blockchain, maybe we could facilitate this. Here it's the example of Boto. Boto is defined as a decentralized autonomous artist by his creator Mario Klingman. How does it work? Every day the community vote to train the AI system. Then every week the AI produce 3 pieces of art who are sold as NFTs on SuperArt. Then the revenue are splitted between the artist Mario Klingman, the community, and the developers who improve the system every week. So with that kind of example, we can completely rethink the relationships between artists, museums, and companies, for example, for a more sustainable ecosystem. Fourth proposal, as Mathieu said, the crowdfunding platforms are blooming in the Web 2, but the problem is that they ask for a lot of taxes, and paywalls are difficult to be respected. Thanks to Web3, again, we can rethink it. Here it's the example of the Stoner Cat TV show, which was funded by the community thanks to the NFT sale. And after the community is able to vote for the future of the TV show and to access to the episodes on the website by login with MetaMask through their NFT. So it's at the both time, it's a paywall system and a crowdfunding system. And we can think about this to rethink the subscription system or maybe to avoid it. For example, the first Seinfeld TV show fans could be paid because they were at the beginning when it's resold on Netflix. And another shocking example is the one from the Oculus headset, which was crowdfunded on Kickstarter. Then it was sold to Facebook, and the first founders earned almost nothing when it was resold. Thanks to Web3, we can think about a more circular ecosystem for people who took risk at the very beginning, and to rethink the relationship with fans, as Mathieu said. Proposal 5, AI databases as brand assets. Here, it's the example of the artist Robbie Barat, who did a fake collection of, for the fashion, about the fashion brand Balenciaga, not for them, sorry. It was possible because it's a very famous brand and there are a lot of images who can be scrapped online. And some years later, maybe you know this example of the Balenciaga Pop made on Midjourney, who becomes very viral online. And we can envision a future in which brands and maybe artists have or want to fill AI databases to increase their influence as a new kind of soft power. And maybe AI databases are the new SEO, search engine optimization. So maybe people wanted now to be wanted to pay to be inside and not only pay for the use. And another example is the featuring between the fake featuring between Harry Potter and Balenciaga. So it's really important for brands, I think, in the future to be present in that databases. Sixth proposal coming from video games. Maybe you know the skin industry. If you don't know it, it's a new cultural economy where you pay for clothes for your avatar, not to have new powers in the game, but for the social presence into a game or a metaverse. It's a very big economy. 5 years ago already, it was around $2.4 billion. And we can imagine a future or a present where instead of these shitty clothes, artists can do better work, music or fashion or I don't know. Here it's a very simple featuring between Balenciaga again and Fortnite, but we can think about, for example, not non-playable characters as musicians in video games or museums into first-person shooters as a new way to access cultures and pay artists, because the video game industry has a very bad image, and it could be interesting for them to collaborate with artists and cultural institutions as a way to produce more interesting contents than the one from the developers and game designers. Last proposal, maybe really controversial, we will see, is to think AI as a digital commons. Because, as you know very well, there are a lot of class actions from artists who thought it's a steal of their work of art, but we can think the problem as the opposite, and because if we want to pay artists for that kind of use, it's like the streaming, they will earn only a small fraction of Swiss franc, and we can think AI very differently, maybe as self-managed digital commons, who will be managed by a kind of decentralized governance, such as DAOs, which is really different than an individual point of view, because at the end, if it's billion of image, maybe the individual level is not relevant at all. So that's a wrap. Here it's a summary of my 7 proposals. I'm really happy to discuss them with you in the next workshops. And thank you very much for your attention.